Okay, so now we're gonna, I wonder if it's gonna cut off a bunch of my videos in the beginning. I gotta watch the time. I'm just like, oh, I press play, go. Okay, so we're gonna have Lene turn onto her back and scoot back up for me a little bit. We're gonna be doing our corrections now. So we're gonna start with that elevated side, which was her left. And I lied, I just made her go onto her back, but I actually want her other side. So I'm gonna have you turn with your left side down first. So we're gonna do, again, there's the two ways to do this elevated hip correction, and I like to show you guys both just so that you're getting to see it both ways. Again, most of the time you only need to choose one. Always side lying, but you can either do with the high side down or with the high side up, and you're just choosing which correction you're doing. So this is our correction for her elevated hip down. This is our classic release. So I'm gonna have her scoot her bottom back a little bit for me, awesome, and you can actually move your upper body back just a little bit, perfect. And then I'm gonna have you just gently bend your legs. Lovely. And so now she's gonna start her nice deep belly breathing for me, and I'm gonna move her legs. So I'm scooping in underneath here. I'm above the knee. I've got a good, nice, strong hold, and then I'm just moving her. So she's relaxed. People will want to help you. You just got to remind them, relax, please. So I like her to be at about a 90 here, 90 degree from the hip to the knee, right? And then the lower legs are about at a 90 from the knee too. It can come in a little or out a little bit. It's more about keeping the integrity in the hip and knee. So now I like to stabilize the hip, and then I'm coming from underneath. And again, your posture is going to be better than mine. I'm kind of getting out of the way so you can see right now. And actually, I might even come from the other side, which is not how I typically do the correction, but I want you guys to see. So this is another way you can do it. You got to figure out what works for your body dynamics. I can usually get a good amount of leverage from that side of the table. But again, I scoop from underneath, so I'm just above her ankles, kind of the bottom of the calf area, and then I can actually stabilize her hip really nice from here, and my body is resting on the table, so I have a lot of lower body support. So big deep breath in and relaxing exhale. I'm gonna bring her legs up just a little bit. Now again, I could crank them and make them go that way. Her hip would roll right in, and so I want to keep her hip where it is. And we're gonna breathe in, exhale, gently press your lower legs towards the earth. Good. So we're resisting each other. She is only a couple inches off of the table with her lower legs. That's perfect. This is activating the QL and glute. Good. Big breath. And relax it all. Relax the legs. Good. So we just got a ton of mobility shift from her. She's got a big gain in that little breath. So she's still breathing nice and full in and out the belly. Again, we always give a relaxing breath in between. Good. And I'm just gonna come from above so I have a little more leverage. And exhale, press down gently. Good. Sweet. Keep breathing nice and full. Big breath in. And exhale, relax it. Beautiful. And relaxing breath. And then one more big press. Good. Big breath. And relax it. Awesome. And relaxing breath. Now, if I was only going to do this release, I would probably do one more rep there. And I might have made her hold a little longer on that one. Now, again, this isn't how my body dynamics are, so I'm not going to. And I know I'm going to do another side lying correction for her, so she doesn't need all of that. Anyways, while she's on this side, I'm actually just gonna give her a little bit of like traction on this hip because her right side was feeling tight and it was feeling tender. We're just gonna let her breathe here a second while she gets this like really beautiful, juicy hold. Yeah, it's good. lets that hip relax, because if it is a shorter leg, it's really having to take the brunt of a lot of movement. And she's right dominant, so most people's dominant side tends to be higher sensitized. So they just feel stuff more on that side. Sometimes left-handed people will feel more strongly on their right too, I've noticed, but typically it's someone's dominant side. Good. Okay, so we're gonna have her turn onto her other side for me. Awesome. And then this one you can really get to either way. I like to come from the back just because then their knee isn't really in your way as much. So we're gonna have her bring her knees up a little bit more. So she's just beyond a 90, maybe like a 95, 100-degree angle there. And then she's still got that head support with her arm because we want to keep her spine pretty straight. If this isn't comfortable for someone, you just go ahead and support them with a pillow. And then she's supporting her posture here with her other arm. She's doing it beautifully. Sometimes people kind of curl in as they go to their side, but I actually like them to be more like Lene is right now because it keeps their shoulders in integrity. So now we're gonna have you straighten this top leg for me. Lovely. We're gonna bring it back just a little bit. And then nice deep inhale and relaxing exhale. So I laced my fingers, scooped into the top of the iliac crest. I'm giving her some traction. She's breathing, she's relaxing. I'm using my forearms and elbows in the quad and front of the hip, and the glutes are getting a nice little squeeze. And then big breath in. As you exhale, hip height towards the armpit. She's gonna draw that hip up towards the armpit. Good. Leg up towards the sky. Yes. Bring it back towards me more and flex your foot. Straighten your knee. Yeah. Good. Good. So those are important directions. Good. Big breath and relax it. Awesome. So I wouldn't usually stop. I'm just gonna keep this traction on her and let her keep breathing because usually it feels good. That feel okay? Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of tell you guys, so Lene's been doing a ton of Pilates lately, which is awesome. But what I just saw is that her leg wants to go forward. So that's telling me that her hip flexors are shortened and contracted. And so when her leg should be doing like a lateral lift, getting into like glute med and that top of glute, the gluteus maximus, it's kind of coming forward and going into the quad instead. So those front muscles are shortening. And she wants to activate more of this side body for those. So, and there might be some poses that ask her to come there, but that's something that she was kind of going, oh, I wonder why my left side is. And so that could be part of kind of what's going on, is that this front twist is happening where this is really active, where what we want active is here. So just like that's a good awareness for her to have as she continues her Pilates journey too. Yeah, nice. And slowly, good, yeah, we'll give you. And then big breath in. And exhale, hip height to the armpit. Good, leg up towards the sky. Good, keep breathing, yep, yes. So she did all her corrections. She flexed her foot, she straightened her knee, she brought her leg back and up. She's doing really good. And relax it. Awesome. The other thing with this can be hard for people, they feel like they're gonna fall over. So luckily they're pretty stabilized with this like arm grab, but that can be another reason that people's leg goes forward too. They're on the edge of the table, so that can feel funky. So while she's here, I just like to kind of work into the glute, yeah, do a little bit of palpation, get some information, and work that QL from the side. So, oh, my dress is hiding it, of course it is. So really getting in there. And this is actually a great time that you can see if their trigger points of their QL tend to be closer to the rib cage, closer to the lumbar, or closer to the iliac crest. So wonderful information to gain. And you know, like, do I want to use a tool there? Do I want to use a drill there? Do I want to just give a little almost craniosacral type press and release into those gentle trigger points, or being gentle with those trigger points, I should say. Good. Also an awesome position for like releasing the shoulder. So we might even do a little of that, but since she's here and we're doing QL, I'm gonna have her stack this left hip, or left knee, yeah, sorry. There we go, good. So that kind of lets it go where it needs to and is also a nice relaxed spot to be able to get in there. Also wonderful spot for sideline glute work. We might not do too much of that on her today because it's so tender, but a little bit is just wonderful. Everybody's glutes need more action. They need more work on the glutes, so. Oh, you doing okay with that?
Yeah.
Makes you want to swear. And so I definitely have a lifelong client who is like very reserved and a little conservative. She's a wonderful woman, and when we do glute work, she is a dirty sailor, just swearing up a storm, and I support it entirely, but it's just a natural reaction when you get in those tight areas. Plus the laughter that it creates is definitely a good release. Okay, so some of that's also going to release as we do her pelvic tilt. So I am going to move on to that next.